Projectors. Self-projected authority. I don't know how to start my human design readings because, I'm used to doing like tarot. So I don't always feel like doing my intro. I just start talking. But yes, guys, my birthday has come to a close. So I'm like, I need to get back to work. I need to get back to my routines. I need to get back to Virgo things and getting organized, or feeling organized at least. So we're going to talk about self-projected authority today. If you are watching this video, then you either are a projector or you know somebody who's a projector with self-projected authority, because it is only exclusive to projectors. It is a very rare authority. Only about 2% of the population have it. So, oh, thought I heard something outside. So if you are like constantly I can't find any information on self-projected, I don't know what it means. It looks so empty right here. Just put that there. What is that noise? It's like outside. Sorry, y'all. But it's like so distracting. It's like a beeping where, like, if a door is never mind. My mind is okay. So anyway, let me get back on track. Self-projected authority, 2% of the population. So if you can't really find a lot of information on it, that is why. Similar to like reflectors, where it's hard to find a lot of concrete information. It's because it's so rare, and it's sometimes is hard to observe and hard to study. And the people who are getting familiar with it and their own authorities, you guys have to also do your part in telling us what it is to have this authority. So it's a two-way street. So on one end, it's like, we don't have any information on it, right? But with the basics that you do have, you can start to observe yourself and study yourself and your patterns, and then share your knowledge. I invite you, projectors watching this, to share what you feel, what you know about your own inner authority, so we can observe, and it's a two-way street type of thing. All right. So what makes it self-projected is the identity center is linked to the throat. And you could have like your head, ajna, and G center defined, and everything else under that is undefined. Or you can have your ajna, throat, and G defined, but you have to have that throat to G center connection in order for you to be a self-projected. Anything else is probably like emotional or mental projector. Mental and self-projected are very similar, but you have to make sure it's connected to that G center. That is really where the power comes from. It's the power of your voice coming from your identity center. That is how you know what decisions are right for you, when you hear what you say and when you feel it in your body, like in your heart, in your chest, your stomach. And this is where I say pay attention to the sensations that you get from this authority, because when you speak, you will feel it in different places. So if something is right for you, you may feel it in your heart. Or if something is not right for you, you may feel a sinking feeling in your heart or your chest or your stomach. Something may happen, but it's just bringing it into an awareness. So self-projected projector is one of three types of the projectors. So we have emotional. Wait, that's not right. Wait. Self-projected, mental, emotional, splenic. I don't know why I put the three types of projectors. I can't remember because I took notes on this a while ago. I am so sorry, y'all. I am so discombobulated with my birthday passing and Mercury retrograde. I just feel so confused with everything, with life. But in my opinion, self-projected authority is very similar to the manifester strategy, as far as informing and just listening to what you say out loud, because manifestors are meant to use the power of their throat a lot of the time to manifest and create the reality they want, and to move things out the way and to bring things closer. And it's very similar to you in a sense. So if you know any manifestors, you can definitely study their pattern of informing. and how they speak things into existence and speak to hear what feels right for them as well. But it's key to listen to what you say by speaking out loud. All right. And so anytime you make decisions about really anything you do, especially if it's like big decisions like work, relationships, friendships, whatever, it's really important that you say it out loud to yourself, or you write it down, or you record yourself and you play it back to hear your own voice. But it's something that when I was really studying into it, it's something that is very in the moment, like you just know. It's not something that you have to keep on over analyzing. Very similar to splenic authority, where it's like you feel it or you hear it one time and that's what it is. Same for like when you state a fact about something, right? It's like 1 + 1, 2. It just comes straight. It just flows out. 1 + 1 is 2. Or when you're saying the alphabet, A, B, C, you just know that's what it is. It just fluent, right? So when you know something is right for you, you'll know right then and there when you say it. If you have to keep on repeating it and keep on saying it, trying to convince yourself, that's usually not a good sign. That means that something is probably not right for you. Or maybe you need to like decompress, come back to it later, ask yourself another time. But, whichever answer comes first, or if you ask yourself several times and there's indecision or there's more of one answer than the other, go with which one is most prominent. All right. But the main thing you always want to focus on is, now there's something in my eye, is, will this make me happy? Will this give me self-expression? And is this the right decision for me? Those are the 3 main questions that you always want to really, really think about. And that's it. And it shouldn't be any like trying to maneuver it or change it into what you want. It's just a yes or no type of thing. But of course, it takes practice. If you're not used to making decisions this way, you're used to thinking about what you should do instead of what you want to do. But your inner truth comes out from your identity, and it is expressed through your throat. So practicing saying I am statements to really get to know yourself better. I see a lot of projectors struggle with knowing who they are. They feel like they don't know who they are because projectors just have this tendency to focus on other people so much that they lose sight of what they want and who they are, and they become warped into what other people want. But as a defined G center, you are always connected to your identity. It's just a matter of if you've suppressed it so much that you don't know where it is. But the good thing is you always have access to it. It's easy to find when you uncover those layers and you start being more true to yourself and you start making decisions for you instead of other people. And all decisions that make you feel most like yourself are for you. But it's like you have to start with actually knowing who you are at your core instead of who people have made you out to be, who you've changed yourself to be. You have to really, really be honest in order for this authority to work for you in that way. So let's see. What else do you need to know here? So if you make decisions from your mind that don't feel like you or they feel forced, you will feel bitter because you cannot change yourself for others. Defined G Center cannot change for anyone else. We are who we are. I'm a defined G Center. We are who we are. It's very hard for us to be malleable and be happy. Like, we're not undefined G's where we're not supposed to be chameleon-like. It's supposed to be, this is who we are. We find our people to kind of warp around that instead of we can fit into a bunch of different places like undefined G centers. That's not our right path. So you are someone that you have to learn how to trust your voice in the moment, because your voice is everything. That's all you really have to depend on, that voice, to really help you unlock your inner truth about who you are. And so if you're somebody that doesn't speak a lot or you don't speak up a lot, you want to really practice affirmations and reaffirming your voice is strong, your voice is meant to be heard, your voice is powerful, like things like that. So my advice to you for self-projected authority is to find as many ways as possible to express yourself and see what feels right. But it will be something that is consistent because you have defined throat, defined G center. Defined centers are about where we have consistent access to that energy, as long as we are in alignment with what's right for us. So if you're not in the right environments, you're not around the right people, you won't feel like your voice is powerful. You won't feel like it's heard. You won't feel like yourself. You won't feel like you know who you are because you haven't been following your authority thus far. But when you do start to, you'll start to feel more confident in yourself. So yeah, find whichever ways you want to express yourself, singing, typing, writing, poetry, recording, videos, whatever. It could be anything. So you really want to record yourself saying like I am or I will statements and see what sounds right. Start with things that you know are true about yourself and then move to things that you want to do or you're trying to do and see how that feels. And then soundboarding, talking to someone so you can hear yourself. This isn't for advice. It is really so you can hear what you're saying repeated back to you from an outside source. So you can practice with a friend or have somebody ask you questions, things like that. You can get really creative with this type of authority, but it's all about what feels right to you when you hear it for yourself and being really truthful and honest about who you are as a person and what you want and really focusing on being more selfish in that way. Instead of being told this is what you want, this is who you are all your life, you have to do that deconditioning. So that's where that process takes place. So that's what we have for you. Self-projected authority. I hope this resonated. And it's really honestly a simple cut and dry type of authority. And like I said, it's rare. So many of you have to tell us and me, people who are human design specialists, your experience with this and tell us what works for you and what hasn't worked for you. So we know as we're studying you and we know like what advice to give others. All right. Each one teach one. So thank you guys. And I will see you for the next authority video.